So whenever I come back to BFA, I'm gonna just farm out like maybe 10 or like 30 or 40 million gold, and then I won't need to worry about it. Okay, we have a few people here, right? I'll give them a second to get mana and everything, alright? I explained what the Black Money Action House is. It's basically a way that Blizzard puts items that are really rare in the game up for sale, and players can bid on them, and Blizzard themselves puts them up on the auction house, so it's a way to like remove gold from the economy, basically. It's pretty much how it works. Watch this. Watch me pull aggro god. Look at that. Literally, like 1 second I have aggro. 1 second I have aggro. This is absolutely insane. Yeah, it's pretty much how it works. Bureau farm? Yeah, exactly. Not money. Well, in-game money, right? In-game money, like gold. And that's how you get it. Wait, where's our healer? Where's our healer, guys? Come on. Let's do it. I've got really, I don't know why I'm losing aggro on all these mobs here. It's kind of annoying. Okay, here we go. It's a little bit better. And, farm, you want to know back to gold? I used to farm a lot of gold. I used to be like, I used to make gold guides. I used to be very, very serious about that. But, nowadays, obviously, I don't really give a shit about it anymore. Where is here? Wait. If this dude was my guild leader, I would G-quit instantly, so selfish. You must be new to the stream. Yeah, you're a retard. Okay, you're banned. Yeah, you're just a retard. Okay, just give me a second here. Let's go over this way. Yeah, it's a retard. I don't know how, like, people, they'll go into my stream and they'll watch my stream and they'll have, like, literally zero sense of humor. And they'll be like the people that take everything just completely literally. You know, they have no, like, you know, normal thoughts of their own. They just think completely literally. And I'll say something that'll upset them and they'll just get so angry about it. Like, I don't know how people can be that fucking... Shit, am I dying? Okay, no, I'm good. People can be that fucking stupid, but, you know, here we are. Okay, it's Europeans. I don't think it's actually Europeans at all. I think many of them are actually Americans. Because I feel like Americans are... I don't know, I feel like Europeans have, like, more of a culture of sarcasm than, like, Americans do. Like, in America, like, sarcasm is not really viewed as positively in general, right? Yeah, they have, like, more of a culture of sarcasm. It's okay, but, like, in the US, that's not the case at all. People get very, very offended very, very easily, based off of, like, jokes, like, actual just jokes. What about a culture of banter, like Australia? Well, I feel like banter is basically, like, banter and, like, the sarcasm and everything, like, that's all, like, EU in general, right? It's not just Australia. Am I gonna die here? Let me see, I've got 14,000. Okay, there we go. We're fine. Okay. Alright, great streamer, it's all success. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? Not meaning to shit, give you about gold. Well, no, here's what I mean, right? Is it, so the black market auction house, you can buy the items, right, with gold, but obviously you can buy gold. Like, in retail WoW, you can actually just buy gold. I am worried that Blizzard will look at this and say that, okay, well, because the WoW token basically got rid of a lot of gold sellers, that's something we should do in Classic, and, like, the pros outweigh the cons. I, personally, would hate to see the WoW token go into Classic WoW. Right? I really think it would be bad for the game. And I genuinely hope it doesn't happen. And I've been thinking about that a lot recently. And I don't know, like, what would you guys say? Like, if they add the WoW token into Classic WoW, how would you feel about that? I'd really ruin the game? I don't know about ruining the game, but, like, it would not be good. Uninstall, fuck that. Yeah, I think that would be a terrible decision. Okay. These guys here. Alrighty. Okay, gold stars will still be a thing no matter what? Well, you're right, they will. But there's, like, a difference between them being a thing and be, like, 1% versus, like, 10%. You know, like, if they're 10% of how prevalent they were, I think then, you know, like, making a change is kind of good. But, the way I look at it is I think the WoW token is good in a lot of ways, but I would be extremely upset. Let me just use a sharpening stone. Here, I might as well. I would be very, very, very upset if they ever did the WoW token in Classic. I would hate to fucking see that. Like, that would be probably, like, one of the worst decisions they could ever make. So, I hope they don't do that, but, you know, we never know what's gonna happen. I guess we'll have to find out. But yeah, I think that, like, if they ever did that, people would be really upset. Cause, like, the economy matters so much in Classic, And then if you have the WoW token, the economy just kind of doesn't matter at all, because you can just buy the gold. And, like, anybody can do that. It's not like, as I said, it's not like with me, like, as a streamer, right? Some streamer gets streamer benefits. Like, how many streamers are there? It's not a big deal. But anybody has $20, right? And I feel like that's what really makes it bad. Is that you have, like, all these people that makes it available to, in a way that it wasn't before. All it would do is cause inflation. Well, it certainly would not cause inflation. If you think that it would cause inflation, I don't think you really understand how the WoW token works. But, I don't think that it would be good either. It's not like, oh, just because it won't cause inflation doesn't mean that it's going to be good. It would still be very bad. But it won't cause inflation, I don't think. Of course it wouldn't. Well, yeah, $20 is $20. I guess so. They'll buy the gold no matter what. Yes, it would. It would cause inflation. So you guys don't really understand the way that WoW token works. I'll explain it, since there's a lot of people that are a little bit confused. So the way the WoW token works is it basically is a marketplace that player A can sell gold to player B for real money. So in order for inflation to occur, there has to be an increase in the currency within an economy. Because no increase in the currency occurs with the WoW token, then inflation does not occur. Because it just doesn't work that way. That's just not what inflation is. Yeah, it's inflation for the auction house. Oh, it would inflate prices for things? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I cannot say one way or another with that. But why gold farmers become a thing? Well, yeah, I know that. That's why they'd probably want to do the WoW token. But I do think like the WoW token would be kind of dangerous for Classic. It would be. It's easier to get gold, no shit. It's not about being easy. Some individual has to still farm out the gold. Like, regardless of, like, God, we need to interrupt this. Holy shit. Where's our interrupts on these ads? Go ahead. Gold stars will undercut prices of tokens, which will cause inflation. Well then, I don't think that really is gonna... That's already gonna be happening anyway. So it's like, you're saying gold sellers will continue to sell gold. Right? It's basically what you're saying. So, under that circumstance, that would not cause inflation because it would be assumed that it was already happening. So I don't really think that's true either. But, no, I don't think WoW tokens cause inflation. They don't really cause inflation of general goods. But I do think they might cause inflation of, like, high-end goods. Because a lot of people that are buying high-end goods are, like, serious players. And so they're the ones that are buying the WoW tokens a lot. Just in that way. Alright, let's see. They might add how much gold they think $20 will get you. Do you think Blizzard will do it anyway and make a lot of money off of selling tokens? Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. I definitely could. That's why I'm concerned about it. I mean, if I couldn't see it happening at all, I wouldn't even think about it. But I absolutely do think it could happen. And that's what I'm worried about. So hopefully it won't. I agree with you to some extent, but will it trickle down, to mats and consumables? It will to an extent, yeah, but like, you're also comparing that to like what would already be happening with gold sellers to begin with. Honestly, I think gold sellers cause more inflation than the WoW tokens do. Because gold sellers, a lot of times, like basically what they do a number of things, right? And number one is they hack people's accounts. They hack people's accounts and they take all of their gold and then put it, and they like buy it and, you know, add the gold back into the economy some other way, right? And make it harder for players to get their gold back. Then Blizzard obviously refunds that player back their gold. And let's say Blizzard doesn't recoup. Like, let's say the player loses 500 gold. They had 500 gold. They lose that gold to the gold seller that steals their account. Well, let's say the gold seller, Blizzard only removes 400 of that gold from the gold seller. So you still have an extra 100 gold out in the economy that's been basically created out of thin air by Blizzard whenever they return the person's stuff. Because obviously Blizzard just isn't going to give people their stuff back, right? They're obviously going to give them the shit back if their account gets hacked. So what I'm saying here is that then you end up having 100 gold added into the economy by Blizzard. Right? Does that make sense? True? Yeah, why would they skip 100 gold? Because they won't be able to recoup it. Like, there could be 1,000 different ways and they're not going to be able to recoup every single cent. Right? I mean, they can kind of figure out where some of the gold goes, but then what if that person buys an auction? What if that person sends it to 5 other characters, and Blizzard only realizes that 4 of the other characters are the characters that they send the gold to, and then they don't get the extra 100 gold back? What if they buy some item on, from another player? What if they trade it, like, legitimately? There's a million different ways that it could happen. That's the point. Money gets into the economy. Yeah, it gets into the economy. And Blizzard's not going to do the amount of investigation needed for them to make sure this doesn't happen. Like, let's be real. I don't think they even should waste their time doing that. At a certain point, you know, some things are just good enough. And I think that's a good example of it. Where's my crits, dude? Where's my crits? Fucking bullshit. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. I like it. Where are my shoulders, man? I hate this game. The fuck is this? Like, I'm so tired of this bullshit-ass game. Okay, at least we're killing the bosses fast, though. I just hope that I get this goddamn item, though. I'll be so upset if I don't. Taunt this guy, too. In retail last year, Blizzard banned a couple gold sellers who had 300 plus mil on each of them. Well, how do they have 300 plus mil? I guess on all the different servers, yeah, sure, maybe that's possible. But, cause like, you can only have 10 mil on one character, and so, like, yeah, I guess maybe you could do that. Sure. You ever complicating things so Blizzard can track gold and server? So you really think that whenever Blizzard returns the gold and removes the gold from a gold seller, that every single cent of that gold is actually returned and taken out of the economy? You don't think that there's any sort of residual that just kind of stays in the economy, even though it shouldn't be? I mean, does that... Like, I'm just being realistic here. I mean, it's what's going to happen. I mean, it just is what's going to happen. Kick McConnell out of the guild to avoid drama? McConnell's fine. Like, why would I kick McConnell out of the guild? McConnell's the co-GM. He's not going to be kicked out of the guild. Sorry, boys. I don't listen to this song, dude. Okay, we'll listen to this one. This is fine. Yo, no, a second. People have no idea how auditing works. They think they can track every single bit of gold. There's no fucking way, dude. There's no fucking way. Okay, just a second here. Okay, let's go over here. Try GM, no. There's gonna be no more GMs, alright? You argued with Sid about this on Allcraft, and you said the WoW token was a good thing. I do think that it's a good thing for retail, right? And it is a good thing overall. And it's probably better than having gold sellers in retail. But also, it's a good thing in the context of retail. Because retail WoW doesn't have the same focus on economy that classic WoW does. It's less important that the value of gold is made more meaningless. But because classic WoW tokens matter a lot more, sorry, gold matters a lot more, obviously it's a completely different paradigm. Because you have people that are much more motivated to get gold, and that's more of an in-game for them than it is in retail. Retail WoW is already so fucked up that I don't think the WoW token makes a big difference to retail WoW at all. But for classic WoW, I wouldn't like to see that, because the game functions in a different way. So that's why I feel the difference between classic and BFA. That's why. Gold being more meaningless equals inflation, by the way? No, it's not just inflation. So here's why gold means a lot in classic WoW. It's because you need gold. What happens whenever, like, imagine if there were no consumables in classic WoW. Imagine if the only thing that you had to do was repair. There were no other items that you needed. Gold would be worth nothing. Nobody would care. It wouldn't matter. Imagine if there were no BOE items that you could buy that were best in slot. Gold wouldn't matter at all. The reason why gold matters in classic WoW is because there's things to spend it on. In retail WoW, there aren't those things to spend it on, and that's why gold doesn't matter as much in retail WoW. You have to have things for the gold to go after in order for it to have value. That's why it's more important. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, can we get this pull here? Son of a fucking bitch. Okay, I'm just going up here. When are you doing another media share? I don't know. I probably should do one soon. I enjoyed doing media share last time, though. So I probably will do it soon. Okay, here we go.